The Earth is in trouble. Following the devastating attack from Super Buu, Earth's population has been reduced to a few humans, and 3 brave warriors within the Room of Spirit and Time. Goten, Trunks, and Piccolo. Using their new technique, the Fusion Dance, they face off against Super Buu as Gotenks. Despite his immense power, Gotenks' theatrics cause Piccolo to get worried and destroy the entrance to the time chamber. Heartbroken by the lack of chocolate in there, Buu screams and rips reality apart, escaping the chamber. Now Gotenks and Piccolo must attempt to do the same, but the tides of time within the Room of Spirit and Time work in mysterious ways. Will our heroes save the world? The adventure continues now. What's up everyone, SmugStick here. I just wanted to say that this story is based on an old official what if I found in Super Sonic Warriors, the old Game Boy game I'm sure a lot of you guys remember. This is my adaptation of it with some changes. Let me know what you think of me adapting stories from games, as I used to do them a lot and I want to again. I think it's a lot of fun and I hope you enjoy.
You see, Piccolo? I can only use this phone for a bit of time, so we better hurry. Super Saiyan 3 style.
Piccolo was very upset at the kids for having hidden such an impressive form. By just having felt the transformation from Goku, they were able to recreate it. Truly, they were proteges. Gotenks counted them down in the scream. 1, 2, 3, boom! Their joint scream ripped a hole in the fabric of the time chamber. Yet, it was strange. The outside world looked different from what they came out of. Still, Piccolo had no plans in waiting any longer within that chamber. Pushing Gotenks through the hole he created, the two tumble upon each other, quickly getting up with their guards up in case Buu attacked. Yet there was no Super Buu to be found. No Bulma, Yamcha, Dende, none of them. They couldn't even sense their ki, but they could sense Krillin and even Vegeta. Piccolo and Gotenks made their way to their ki source, though Piccolo was worried this could be some sort of trick from Buu. Once they arrived at the location, they realized this was just not Vegeta's ki they sensed, but Goku's too. From above, they watched Vegeta fire a purple ki blast at Goku. Excited to show their parents just how strong they've gotten, Gotenks appeared right before Goku, reverting into base as to not spoil the surprise of Super Saiyan 3. Huh? Who are you, kid? Get out of here! This is dangerous!
Danger's my middle name, Dad.
Huh? Gotenks uppercutted the Gallic gun up in the sky. The beam reflected with such force and speed it blew up a far-off star. Whoops, maybe he went a little overboard. Piccolo was left with his mouth hanging. He realized what this was, the battle on Earth against Vegeta. When he first arrived, Vegeta yelled at Gotenks, asking him who the hell he was. The young fusion explained that he was the ultimate warrior, the grim reaper of justice, the result of the fusion between Goku and Vegeta's kids. The two adults were left completely dumbfounded. Gotenks was upset they weren't impressed, so he showed off and declared he was a Super Saiyan, transforming into his first form. Vegeta and Goku both took steps back at the tremendous power. Vegeta couldn't believe the silly golden-haired warrior could ever be something akin to a legendary Saiyan, but power was undeniable. Goku cheered. With someone like him, they could surely defeat Vegeta, but the Saiyan Prince wasn't about to give up, instantly shooting up an artificial moon. Gotenks whistled, impressed as he watched Vegeta transform. He commented on how cool it was to finally see an Ozaru, since, as far as they knew, they never had tails. Perhaps they got them cut as babies.
Gotenks, get back here. Somehow we ended up back in time, back when Vegeta first arrived to conquer Earth. We've got to return to the lookout.
Conquer Earth, huh? My dad? Really? Mom did say he used to be quite nasty. Maybe it's time for some payback.
Piccolo tried to stop Gotenks, but the fusion rushed back in to attack Vegeta in a flash. Trying not to go too hard on him, the Ozaru could barely stand up by the end of it. Piccolo finally appeared in front of Gotenks before he could continue the assault, telling him that they have to go. They have no idea how much time has passed for Buu. Gotenks rolled his eyes, but he knew Piccolo was right, shrugging and blasting off with him.
Good look, dynamic.
Goku was left confused on the ground below, looking back and forth between the Ozaru and Gotenks flying away. More than anything, he was excited. Could a power like that be his someday? Either way, he first had to finish this fight. Hopefully, Piccolo being around meant the Dragon Balls were back. As they flew away, Gotenks asked where they were going. Piccolo explained that they need to go back into the time chamber and try again. Gotenks just stopped and said they could just try to rip reality here. Piccolo tried to stop him, but it was too late. Gotenks screamed out as a Super Saiyan 3 once more. The Earth shaking. But it worked. He once again ripped a portal through space and time. Without a second thought, he jumped in. Though Piccolo warned him this could be a different time again, he didn't listen. Gotenks flew out of the time rift, but before him was a world he'd never seen before, once again returning down to Super Saiyan to save energy.
What is this? Where did Majin Buu go? Did he turn Earth into a green hell?
Have some respect, kid. This is planet Namek, my world. This brings back memories.
Gotenks was confused. Were they forward or back in time? Piccolo said that this planet seemed to be old Namek, as the Namekians now have a new world. He could recognize a few structures, but above that, he recognized a presence, Frieza. He could tell that he was in the midst of battle against Goku. Piccolo cursed. They had jumped ahead in time, but not far ahead enough. Was the time chamber forcing them to relive battles? He wondered why. Was it Gotenks' desire to prove himself to his parents? His wish to defeat powerful opponents? It didn't matter. They needed to escape. Gotenks, once more, rushed by Goku as he stared down at Frieza. Huh? It's you again. I took your advice. I tried to find that Super Saiyan form on my way to Namek, though it was difficult for me to do it until... Krillin. Ugh. Frieza, you're going to pay!
Wait, that's Frieza? He doesn't seem like much trouble.
I see, my reputation precedes me. I do not know your name, but you're lucky enough to know mine. Now, who are you? Wait, don't tell me. You're a Super Saiyan as well.
I'm the one who's gonna kick your butt. Peanut butter jelly time.
Gotenks rushed in to clash against Frieza over and over, but the Emperor quickly realized he stood no chance against another Super Saiyan. Frieza rose to the sky, creating a supernova to fire at Gotenks. But as the kid got ready to defend himself, Goku zoomed in front of him. Sorry, but this is my battle. Thanks for your help against Vegeta, but I've got this one. Gotenks was surprised, but he admitted it was cool to see his father like this. The first Super Saiyan in a millennia, huh? Even his hair looked different, a little fluffier. Gotenks wanted to argue, but Piccolo dragged him out of there. Goku widened his eyes when he saw the Namekian again, glad he was okay, and thanked him for protecting the kid and Gohan. Piccolo nodded and flew further away with Gotenks. Gotenks sighed and said, fine, as Goku clashed a Kamehameha against Frieza. Gotenks transformed into a Super Saiyan 3, with Goku and even Frieza taking notes of that immense power. Goku had just obtained Super Saiyan. Was there something beyond it? Frieza also noticed how they mentioned some sort of time chamber. Could that be the source of his power? Gotenks screamed out once again, revealing a portal. This time, Gotenks was a little bit more careful, but it's not like they had a choice. Namek would explode soon anyways. Gotenks and Piccolo entered. Piccolo scolded Gotenks for not listening, warning him that this time he better stay with him. If he sees the pattern correctly, then this must be around the time the Cell games happened. As he said this, a blue creature was sent flying and crashed into Piccolo. Piccolo grabbed it and threw it back. It was a Cell Jr. Ugh. Gotenks commented on how cool they were, yet so gross. Piccolo didn't like being there. This was not fun memories. Gotenks looked around. It was disheartening. The various Z fighters were reduced to fodder thanks to a few child androids. At the same time, Mr. Satan slowly snuck around, holding some sort of head. Gotenks heard a familiar voice. Goku and Vegeta being beaten down by Cell Juniors. Gotenks had to act, jumping down towards them and punching the two Cell Juniors away, driving them off for a bit, and going back down to check on the two. Piccolo face-palmed. It's you again!
Are you two okay?
Kakarot, that power. Just who are you?
After seeing that form of yours on Namek, I realized that there had to be something beyond Super Saiyan. I couldn't get myself there, but I tried to with Gohan. Gotenks looked back to see Gohan, his eyes filled with tears, watching as his friends were beaten to the pulp. He couldn't believe that he was his older brother. He seemed to be struggling so much, he needed his help. Piccolo yelled Gotenks' name, but Gotenks didn't move. Cell's eyes shifted to look at him, but as soon as he did, the head of Android 16 came rolling in front of him. Gotenks stayed quiet as he watched and heard 16 talk to Gohan, explaining how rage can be used as a tool to defend others, how power shouldn't be something we were afraid of. Piccolo grabbed the kid and jumped back. He struggled from his grasp. He wanted to go back. Vegeta looked back and forth between the two Piccolos. What was happening here? And Goku cursed. He had made a mistake in trying to help his son achieve that power. He had failed to help him reach that power. But Gotenks looked at his father. He realized something. Gohan's age. This was 7 years ago. This was when Goku...
Let me go! I have to help Gohan! I have to save that android! my dad.
Listen, kid, you can't. This is the only way. Without Android 16s and Goku's sacrifice, well, the fusion and Super Saiyan 3, even our world wouldn't exist. This sacrifice saves the Earth, and possibly us against Buu, if we're lucky enough to make it back. It's the only way. We can't mess with time anymore, and if this is like when Trunks came back in time, then it wouldn't help us either.
Gotenks tried to argue with Piccolo as in the background, Gohan exploded in power, transforming into Super Saiyan 2, destroying every single Cell Jr. Gotenks tries to hold back his tears, knowing what's coming, but Piccolo was likely right. Without Goku dying, then Super Saiyan 3 wouldn't have been discovered, as it was only possible for him to obtain it while training in other worlds. Similarly, he wouldn't have learned fusion, but the kid didn't care. He was the Grim Reaper of Justice. He was a hero. Gotenks slipped from under Piccolo, rushing towards Gohan as he battled Cell. Gohan asked who he was, and that he didn't need any help.
I know you don't, but I know how you get. You can't get cocky. We need to finish him off before someone dies.
Someone already died. Android 16, Cell. He needs to suffer.
So wait for a hero to speak. I can't believe you're supposed to be the great Saiyaman. No matter. Trust me, Gohan. You're gonna regret this if you don't finish him off fast.
Gotenks and Gohan both rushed towards Cell, bouncing him back and forth in a combo. Gotenks moved in a familiar way to Gohan. His ki even felt familiar. Why was that? Gohan didn't know how to react to his help, but the Z fighters cheered. Krillin even asked Vegeta if this was another one of his kids. Cell cursed the world. He was extremely hurt. How could another being be stronger than himself? Gohan told Gotenks that he's got this, zooming forward. As Gotenks yelled at him not to get cocky, Gohan smashed his fist against Cell's stomach with such strength that he threw up Android 18.
18? Krillin, you better take care of your wife.
Wife? Gotenks rushed to Cell as he began to increase in size, attempting to blow himself up. Gohan stared at him blankly, afraid of what he had done. Goku turned to everyone, ready to sacrifice himself, but Krillin yelled at Goku to look. Gotenks shot out a set of rings at Cell, which shrunk him into a small ball, which he then spiked to Piccolo, the wrong Piccolo, who slapped the ball away thinking it was an attack. Gotenks said whoops, but managed to move towards it and punted it up to the sky with such ferocity it went into the atmosphere.
No better ending than a superhero team-up. Come on, everyone.
Gotenks began to charge a Kamehameha, surprising everyone. Gohan joined in, followed by Goku. Even Vegeta and Trunks joined in to blast as the yellow and blue beams combined and sealed the fate of Cell. Up high above the earth, reaching the sun, the heroes could see an incredible explosion. It would have surely destroyed Earth. They had Gotenks to thank for saving them. Wow, you're amazing. Gotenks instantly hugged Goku and then Vegeta, who pushed him off. The two Saiyans were confused and a little uncomfortable. Gohan thanked him for his help. He was right. He almost doomed Earth. Gotenks smiled. He hadn't realized just how much Gohan and Goku went through to get to where they are now. Gotenks thanked them all, but said that it was time for him to leave. The Piccolo Gotenks arrived with yelled at him to come along. The Piccolo from the past was confused and couldn't believe what he was seeing, but he had enough of his brothers for a lifetime. Gotenks and Piccolo flew far away, with Piccolo yelling at Gotenks that he shouldn't have rushed in like that, but he was proud. Gotenks smiled brightly, and the two screamed out, ripping space and time once more. But what was this? Why was Earth in ruins? Had Majin Buu? Piccolo interrupted Gotenks, saying that he can't even sense his ki. A ki blast went flying past their heads and into a building. They were both surprised. Why hadn't they sensed it? Could Buu be hiding his ki somehow? They slowly turned around to look at Android 18. Just as they said that, the fusion finally wore off. I will make a quick note here saying that in the game's story, the fusion stays fused for the entirety of their travels, but Super Saiyan 3 would surely run out and defuse them. Perhaps the time displacement allowed them to stay fused for a little longer? Either way, Goten and Trunks looked terrified as 17 commented that they thought they had killed the green one already. Piccolo got on guard. Now he had to intervene in order to protect the kids. Goten and Trunks were confused on what was going on with 18. Why was she acting like this? Piccolo explained that this must be a different future, the one future Trunks came from, where the androids were evil. This confused Trunks even more. Piccolo yelled at them that it didn't matter, to get on guard as 18 and 17 attacked. Piccolo defended against them, admittedly happy to have a rematch against Android 17, though this one seemed weaker than the one he knew. Or perhaps he was just way too strong now. The kids didn't want to hurt Android 18, so they pulled their punches, which got them into some trouble as she aimed to kill. The androids commented on how they were better than that Gohan kid, though they could have sworn that Trunks was older at this point. Goten couldn't believe what they said. Android 18 and 17 killed Gohan? But the 18 they know is nice to them, and Marin's their friend. Goten's anger rose as she continued to mock his older brother, and he stopped pulling his punches. They fought her once before at the tournament already. They could do it again. They had learned her moves. Piccolo used the Hell Zone grenade on 17, which the kids noticed and thought was very cool. Android 17, however, opened an android barrier, but Piccolo knew that trick already, instantly appearing before 17 and smashing him to the ground, then continuing to use the Hell Zone grenade by slamming the key balls down to him. Goten and Trunks pinballed 18 between themselves, slamming her to the ground and following it by a rain of key bullets. As they stood side by side, it was over. The kids high-fived each other, and Piccolo reached them, telling them not to think any less of Android 18 because of this event. But as he said this, a figure appeared before them, a Super Saiyan with a determined scowl. "You kids, get out of here."
I see. So this is your future, Trunks.
"What the? Piccolo?"
Trunks?
Future Trunks stared blankly at his younger self, and then back at the defeated androids on the ground. He couldn't believe they had done this alone. He was just coming here to defeat them himself when he felt the commotion. Was the future already saved by those two kids? Goten introduced himself with a happy smile. A smile that reminded Trunks so much of Gohan, instantly recognizing him as his younger brother. He was happy that his timeline had been saved after all, and that Gohan got such a strong little brother out of it. Even Trunks himself was powerful, but from behind, he heard a rustling. Future Trunks rushed in and fired a blast at Androids 17 and 18 as they got up. They narrowly avoided death, but Trunks continued on his relentless attack. The kids both thought he was the coolest ever, but he went in for the kill shot. 17 and 18 were surely dead. But as Piccolo admired the fight, Goten and Trunks disappeared before the two androids, blocking the attack from Trunks. It hurt a lot, but they did it. As they panted, Trunks' eyes widened. "What the hell? You two, move! I have to end this now!"
We're not gonna let you kill 18. She's our friend where we're from.
Trunks explained that they were responsible for all the world's deaths, that Gohan is gone because of them. Goten yelled back that even Mr. Piccolo was once evil. Future Trunks moved his palm full of ki down. He couldn't do this in front of the kids, could he? But Piccolo appeared behind 17 and 18, knocking them out instantly in their defenseless and hurt state with a chop to the neck, as he does the same to the kids. He holds onto the children and apologizes to Trunks. 18 is very different where they come from. She's even married to Krillin. Trunks could have fainted. Piccolo continued to say that the two of them have a strange sense of justice right now, no doubt because of too many superhero comics. Either way, he knows Trunks has to take care of the androids. Trunks nodded, telling Piccolo that he'll deal with them. How did they end up in the future anyways? Piccolo went on to explain just what occurred. Trunks looked at the androids on the ground and told Piccolo that he can borrow his time machine to attempt to return to his timeline, though he can't promise it'll work. Piccolo nodded, telling Trunks that they'll fix up Cell's time machine in the present to return his own time machine when it's all said and done. Piccolo was about to leave to Capsule Corp with the kids when Trunks stopped him. "Take care of them, Piccolo. Clearly, you're special kids. It was great seeing you."
They really are. Goodbye, Trunks.
Trunks continued to look down at the androids as Piccolo left for the time machine. Once at Capsule Corp, Bulma had an emotional reunion with Piccolo. She hugged him, and though Piccolo didn't react, he allowed it to happen, knowing what had transpired for her. He explained that he had just been there by accident, and Trunks had allowed them to use the time machine. Future Bulma looked down at Trunks and Goten. It was like a long time ago, when Gohan and Trunks were growing up. She teared up, brushed some of Trunks' hair off of his face, and kissed his cheek. She led Piccolo to the time machine, and set the date for age 774, during the conflict against Majin Buu. Piccolo thanked her, and they were off to their proper timeline. Hopefully. The kids woke up after a much-needed nap, finally regaining some of their power. They couldn't believe they had missed a chance at watching through the time machine. Piccolo told them to be quiet and pay attention. They could feel Super Buu's ki at the lookout. He had lightly killed most people up there. It was time to get serious. But hopefully, this is the last time they have to travel through time, taking everything they had learned from their battles. Trunks and Goten were more serious than ever now, and the two fused into Gotenks, already a Super Saiyan. The two warriors made their way to Kami's lookout, where Super Buu stepped through, terrorizing it. He had cornered Android 18 and Marin. He was going to turn them into candy. But Gotenks kicked Super Buu in the face and across the lookout. He smiled, giving Android 18 a thumbs up.
You owe us twice now.
What?
Gotenks followed after Super Buu, as Piccolo helped up 18. She gulped, asking if he believed the kids could do it.
If I'm honest, I didn't at first, but now I know they can. Those two kids, they are heroes.
Gotenks was going to defeat him right there, right now. He continued to combo Buu up to the sky, a thei missile barrage, ensuring the monster couldn't just recover easily. The anger Gohan felt during the Cell games, the pain Trunks endured in the future, and the thirst for battle Goku chased after. This was the culmination of it all. They could use everything they had learned to end Majin Buu. Super Buu escaped the barrage by exploding his aura, and followed by an attempt to kick Gotenks down. But the fusion saw it coming. He used his Buu Buu volleyball attack to trap Buu, spiking him over at Piccolo, then at 18. They both helped out, with Gotenks finishing it off by spiking him once more down to the surface of the Earth, a crater forming down below. But Super Buu recovered, surprising Gotenks by keeping his ball shape and striking him multiple times. Yeah, it hurt. Gotenks tried to predict the pattern, but it was difficult. He then realized that, unlike the androids, he could use Buu's ki to his advantage. He sensed where he was coming from, and uppercutted him. Buu was surprised. He didn't think the fusion could keep up with his speed. Gotenks and Buu continued to clash overhead. Gotenks sucked in the air and let it back out, creating a couple of ghosts by his side. Buu wasn't going to fall for that trick again, and Gotenks knew it. He sent the ghosts out to Super Buu, who blew them up with a couple of ki blasts. But that was just a distraction, as Gotenks had launched hundreds of ki balls around Super Buu, using Piccolo's Hellzone grenade as Buu blew up the ghost. As the smoke dissipated, he was surprised by the barrage of ki bullets from every direction. Piccolo couldn't believe it. Just like with Super Saiyan 3, those kids had learned the Hellzone grenade just by seeing it once. Buu was deformed. It seemed like he was at the end of his rope, but with the last bit of his strength, he managed to cup his hands and fire a Super Kamehameha. Gotenks replied with his very own Victory Cannon. The two beams clashed spectacularly, pushing back and forth. From the Kaioshin realm, Goku watched the battle closely. It was incredible. Could Gotenks do it? But it seemed like they were struggling. He was being pushed back. Goku wanted to do something, he needed to, but he was dead. Hearing these pleas, the old Kaioshin told Goku that he could return to the living realm if he gives up his own life. But Goku said the ritual couldn't be interrupted. After all, Gohan may be their only hope.
Oh, the ritual? Yeah, I'm done with that. Forgot to tell y'all.
Gohan was very upset at this, but the old Kai told him that they better hurry down below and defeat Buu, giving Goku his life. Goku nodded at them all, placing a hand on Gohan's shoulder and teleporting back. Gotenks was still struggling, even with 18 and Piccolo's help. Buu continued to use this time to regenerate. Goku and Gohan appeared by them. Gotenks smiled happily. He could do this. He could win.
Stop messing around, Gotenks. Defeat him.
Aw, come on. Don't spoil the surprise with Goku and Gohan.
Goku and Gohan looked confused, but they were in complete shock once Gotenks' aura sparked up. Super Saiyan 3, pushing Piccolo and 18 back. Piccolo sighed. Even after giving a lecture to the younger Gohan, they decided to play superhero? They were lucky they weren't dead yet. The blasts finally began to overwhelm Buu. Gotenks was going to win. Goku and Gohan fired their own blasts to support him from both angles. They had to ensure none of Buu could be reformed. Buu cursed. He was losing. He was disintegrating. He was gone. The beams dissipated into the atmosphere. Gotenks looked at them with a bright smile, shooting a peace sign out. It was done. Goku held Gotenks up high on his shoulders as the fighters celebrated, returning to the lookout and to Dende, as they had plans to revive everyone now. And eventually, the fusion ran out. Goten hugged Gohan and his father, realizing his halo was missing. Wait, did he save him? Did he change the timeline when he stopped Cell? Oh, this? Yeah, the old Kai gave me his life. Goten gave a melancholic oh before looking down for a second. Trunks looked at his friend, asking if he was okay. But Goten looked at him with a smile.
Yeah, just glad a version of Goten and Gohan out there get to spend those 7 years with their dad. Now I get time to spend with mine.
Trunks looked confused, but smiled at his friend. Hopefully he'd get to see his dad again soon too, and his mom.
Yeah, and we became the heroes of the universe.
Goten and Trunks fist bumped. The Dragon Balls on Earth still had a few months before they were ready to be used again. After all, Goku stopped Bulma from making more wishes, so they could be used sooner. But Goku had the idea of at least restoring the world with the Namekian Dragon Balls. King Kai helped Goku get in contact with Murray, who revealed that the Dragon Balls could not revive more than one person. And so, Goku asked Murray and Porunga to revive everyone killed by Babidi and his minions, including Vegeta. It was an amazing reunion, where Mr. Satan offered everyone a giant feast to celebrate the defeat of Super Buu. Though, Goten said he wanted specifically to have some of his mom's Paotsu cooking. Piccolo turned to look at them both, arms crossed. With a scowl, they simply looked up at him. Piccolo opened one eye and nodded at them. They excitedly jumped and told Piccolo that they'd come back to train even more. Piccolo couldn't help but chuckle. Trunks begged his dad to show him that giant monkey form one more time, to which Vegeta just looked confused. The two kids promised to see each other soon enough, but for now, they needed some rest. And so, the Son and Vegeta families departed. As the kids returned to their homes, Goten kept asking questions to Gohan about Cell, and how it was so cool to use anger in a way to defeat his enemy. But personally, he thought Gohan had a lot to work on. Gohan was confused. How did he know all of this? Goten said that he was just happy to have such a strong brother, and that he knows just how much he had to go through. He's gonna make him proud by training and becoming stronger to protect his family just like he did. Gohan blushed. This was embarrassing, but he did appreciate Goten being so enthusiastic. He did have a question. Say, Goten, there was a minute there where Buu was out of the chamber, but you guys were nowhere to be found. What was up with that?
Don't worry about it. We just had a slight detour. And we got that power to defeat Buu.
Goten burst his aura and sped ahead of Gohan, while Goku laughed, racing behind his youngest kid while carrying Chi-Chi. Gohan rolled his eyes, but he wouldn't have it any other way. And thus, the adventures of Gotenks through time and space end here, with Goten and Trunks promising each other to enter the tournament once more, to see just who is the strongest now. But as long as the Grim Reaper of Justice is around, everything will be okay. The end.
Yeah! Another victory for the mighty Gotenks!
Thank you for watching, everyone. I really hope you enjoyed that video. It was a ton of fun to make. I gotta give a huge thank you to my girlfriend Novaria_8 for voicing Gotenks through the video. I wanted to get this video out fast, and she was a real trooper about it. Be sure to follow her on Twitter. She's gonna start making her own Dragon Ball videos soon. I also want to thank Danshi for helping me edit the first part of the video. He sent me a really good base and I just built on top of it. And of course, a huge thank you to the thumbnail artist, Junior Sama. Let me know in the comments down below what other Dragon Ball what ifs from video games you'd like me to cover, or any Dragon Ball one-shot really. Don't worry, I'm still gonna continue the series that I have open right now, but while I get those done, I want to make a few more one-shots. They're really fun to do. As always, a huge thank you to the patrons of the channel, as well as the channel members. And remember, becoming a channel member or a Patreon is the best way to support the channel, as everything you guys give goes directly into getting thumbnails, editing, and more. So, thank you to Dr. Devious YT, Christian Hellman, Pop Just, Tishan Smith King, Francis Ford, Huey Famat, 217, Lewis Perkins, James Bracebridge, Mystic Angel, Nuka Draco, Hannah Rowan, Mutasim Muhammad, Ryuzaki, Midnight Combatant, Jonathan Way, The Real Samuel Randall, Huey, Beast Tianman 420, Faisal Alsharef, Akko, Grim Shadow 227, Giovanni Jimenez, Zanos, Demon for Life, Hurt Fanfiction, Blaze 9526, Crates PlayStation CK, Free Flow Highway, Jackie Effing Chan, Shane K, Angel MR, True Lightning Striker, Squad 100, Ghost 1571, Leor Cadets, Kaiser Jirachi, Jonas Paulus, Trench Rules, D-Man Plays, Jim G, Always Zero, Jerome Foster, Salil Paranjape, Keith Grimes, Celestia, and Samuel Randall. Patrons and members now get to watch videos early whenever I get them done early, as well as get previews of videos and artwork, so consider joining. Anyways guys, that was everything for today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and until we meet again. See ya!